How you doing? Will we see the next progression in 2025? So all the hints are there that we're going to get the new progression. The only question is when. So I'm not likely that we'll see it in 2025, but I'm willing to bet it's going to be within 6 months we see the new progression. But I cannot guarantee it because Kabam doesn't like it when I'm right. So all the hints are there that we're going to see a new progression. So what is the most obvious thing that is just common sense is let's take a look at the when it comes to Act 6. So they basically nerf Act 6, okay? So why did they nerf Act 6? Because it's really mostly for new players, right? They want new players to progress in the game as soon as possible. So using common sense, they and the data probably will tell you that as well. Is if new players are at the highest level, in this case Valiant, they're more likely to spend money in the game compared to if they were Cavalier. Okay, so they want new players to progress at the highest level. If they didn't nerf Act 6, most players will likely quit the game because they feel like it's too hard to progress in the game. That's why Kabam has to nerf Act 6. And another thing too is the game continually progress. The contents become longer and longer when it comes to act content. I do believe we're likely to see obviously the new progression after Valiant and possibly even the next one at least after two more progression at least when after Valiant before MCOC goes out of business. That's my prediction. I don't know after two progression, but I'm willing to bet uh, at least one progression. How about that? I'm willing to bet we're going to have at least one progression before MCOC goes out of business. So it just it takes longer and longer because we you have to do more content, more quests, more act content, obviously, because imagine even if we had like another, let's say, two more progression after Valiant and you're a new player to the game, like literally, and they didn't nerf Act 6, like literally it'd be like almost impossible for new players to progress because it just like takes forever to go to the highest level. And when it comes to the next level, I cannot wait to do the realistic new count challenge. Okay, it might even take me 2 years to do it as a free to play. Okay, realistically and as an average player with casual gameplay, of course, but it might take me 2 years to progress to the next level as a new player when it comes to the new progression. So, and I'm not a new player either. I've been playing this game for a while now. So, I would probably take at least 2 years for a casual new player to progress to the next level as a free to play. So, that's why Kabam nerf Act 6 and pretty much a good hint that we'll see the next progression. So, what's another hint? So, another hint is I believe these are all rumors, so don't say, oh, I said this and that. Okay, these are all rumors, so take it with a grain of salt. I believe there's a chance that we will see 7-star Aegon. I don't know when, but obviously we eventually will see 7-star Aegon, of course. Pretty much we're going to see every champion as a 7-star. We might even see 7-star Quake in the future, but it's going to be the nerf version most likely. So there's rumors that we're going to see 7-star Aegon anytime soon, which is kind of crazy. There's also a chance that we might see Necropolis 2.0. These are all rumors, but let's just talk about 7-star Aegon. I do believe as well we're gonna see the first 7-star rank 5 before we see the new progression. Okay, imagine 7-star rank 5 Aegon. I want to say it's not for everybody, but when you look at the best players in the world, imagine having a 7-star rank 5 Aegon in Necropolis. They probably solo every fight in Necropolis using a 7-star rank 5 Aegon. Maybe one or two cannot be soloable or gonna be very tough when it comes to like Diablo or something like that. But every other fight is gonna be pretty much soloable with Aegon. Maybe you have to use potions from fight to fight, but when you're talking about like full health, Aegon could probably solo every fight, almost every fight at 7-star rank 5. Even a 7-star rank 4 Aegon for me compared to a 6-star rank 5 ascended Aegon, I could probably cut my revives in half. Okay, Think about that. That's a huge difference. I mean, like literally, Aegon. I'm doing a content where I'm trying to explore Necropolis only using 6-star Aegon. Okay, I already completed 2 paths, and somebody mentioned they actually explored Necropolis 100% using 6-star Aegon. So, Kabam, really? Like, you're gonna come up with a 7-star Aegon? Really? Like, they're probably gonna nerf Aegon somehow. I don't know how. Can you nerf somebody like Aegon when he's fully ramped up, at 999? How can you nerf somebody so broken? I mean, balance. Yeah, Ego 99 is completely balanced. So how can you nerf somebody like that? I don't know. That's what they're probably going to do when it comes to Necropolis 2.0. But I do want to say maybe not every fight. So once Aegon is fully ramped up at 999, he could pretty much solo every fight, I think, with the exception of like probably Diablo, I think. I know, I believe this was like the first day. I couldn't even believe it. Maybe they were like using hacks or something, or using mods because they got to the Grandmaster the first day. I'm pretty sure it's like the first attempt too. They got Necropolis Grandmaster in 1%, the first day, first attempt to 1%, okay? To 1% using a 6-star rank 4, not ascended. 6-star rank 4, not ascended. Okay, that is mind-boggling to even think about. Like, how's that even possible? Okay, so I don't know. That'd be crazy, but that we'll have an Aegon. So maybe the next progression will be tied for Necropolis 2.0. I'm not certain for sure, but that's another hint that we're going to see the next progression, and they're probably going to try to sell 7-star Aegon for the new Necropolis. The only question is, how are they going to stop this champion? Okay, I'm afraid they might nerf Aegon like they did again, like they did to Spider Woman, because how balanced he will be. Wink, wink. So I don't know. This is just gonna be another question mark. And this is the good thing about Aegon. He's not hard to use. Like, as an average player, I'm pretty much exploring Necropolis 100% using Aegon. Okay, that just because he's just not. He's average player friendly. You could even argue he's beginner player friendly as well when it comes to Aegon. So it's really nice to see that. I don't know how Kabam will justify making him a 7-star, especially in Necropolis 2.0. So what's another hint? So Kabam is losing a lot of money. So let's look at their chart. As you can see here, Kabam is losing money every year. So how are they gonna make up their money? Obviously going to have a big banquet. So the past 2 years, the community is not happy with the banquet. They feel like they're not the materials are just not good enough when it comes to the rank up materials and the crystals. So Kabam has no choice but to turn up the value when it comes to the new rewards. So I do believe we're gonna have somebody with a 7-star rank 5 by the banquet event. At the very least, or not least, most, at the very most, it's gonna be as hard as it is getting a 7-star rank 4. Okay, it might be harder. I think it might be harder. That's what I'm thinking. It's most likely going to be harder. I think in order for you to get a 7-star rank 5 by the banquet, you would have to spend like 100 grand. I feel like if you spend 100 grand, Kabam will say, okay, you spend enough money, we'll give you a 7-star rank 5. I do believe we'll have a 7-star rank 5 by the banquet if they spend at least 100 grand when it comes to the next rank, which is the rank 5. So yeah, that's it. They're losing money, so they gotta make a big sale by the banquet event, obviously. So the only way to really do it is to have the 7-star rank 5. As you can see here, they're losing money every year. So that's just use common sense. So I do believe we'll have the new progression within 6 months. Thank you. So last thing is, what is the new progression? I do believe it's going to be obviously at least 7-star rank 5, 1 7-star rank 5, maybe 2 7-star rank 5, but nothing more than that. That's it. Thank you.